I got excluded from my brother's graduation party. I booked a trip to Hawaii. They begged me to come back to help when the party exploded into chaos. I wasn't expecting a red carpet or fireworks, but I definitely wasn't expecting to be excluded entirely. It started with a group text from my mom. "Hey everyone, the final guest list for Jason's graduation bash is set. Can't wait to celebrate with you all." I scrolled through the list of names, cousins, old family friends, distant relatives I hadn't seen since I was 12, but somehow, my name wasn't there. I double-checked, thinking maybe she forgot to tag me. She didn't. At first, I thought it was some kind of oversight. I mean, I'm Jason's sister, his older sister, the one who drove him to campus tours, who lent him rent money more than once, who stayed up with him during his all-nighters and edited his thesis, because you're better at grammar than me. So I called my mom. She answered with her usual chipper tone. "Hey, sweetheart, what's up?" I didn't see my name on the graduation party list, I said as calmly as I could. There was a pause. "Oh yeah, well, honey, Jason wanted it to be more of a young crowd, you know, his college friends, that kind of vibe. We figured you'd understand." Understand? Understand what? That my little brother could throw a party and I, his own sibling, wasn't even considered? I didn't say anything. I just listened to her ramble through half-hearted explanations. "It's not personal," she added. "We just didn't want things to feel awkward with Ava being there." Ava, my ex-best friend, the same Ava who hooked up with Jason a few months after we stopped speaking. I hadn't spoken to her since the betrayal, and now she was apparently on the guest list. "Oh, come on," Mom said when I went silent. "Don't make this a thing. It's just a party." I hung up without replying. My hands were shaking. This wasn't just a party, this was years of giving, supporting, sacrificing, and suddenly being deemed unimportant when it no longer suited them. I had always played the role of the peacemaker, the fixer, the dependable daughter, but clearly, I was only valuable when I was useful. And in that moment, something inside me snapped. After I ended the call, I just sat there, staring at nothing, my thoughts spiraling into a blur of disbelief, anger, and hurt. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Jason's graduation was a milestone, something I'd supported him through every step of the way, and now that it was time to celebrate, I wasn't just forgotten, I was deliberately excluded. My own mother made it clear that my presence was inconvenient, that my feelings were secondary to keeping Ava comfortable, Ava, who'd betrayed me and apparently still had a permanent pass into the family circle. The more I thought about it, the more I realized how often this had happened, not just now, not just with this party. There had been birthdays they forgot to invite me to, family dinners where I'd be notified last minute or not at all, calls that only came when someone needed something. I had always said yes, always showed up, always been the reliable one, and it had gotten me nowhere. So I closed my laptop, stood up, and grabbed a glass of wine from the kitchen. I took a long sip and stared out my apartment window at the dusky skyline. Then I grabbed my phone, opened my browser, and searched one word, Hawaii. It felt impulsive, reckless, even, but it also felt right. If they could throw a party without me, I could live my life without waiting for their approval. I wasn't about to sit around wallowing while they laughed over drinks with Ava like everything was perfect. I booked a 5-night stay at a beachfront resort on the Big Island, oceanfront suite, spa access, infinity pool, the works. I even upgraded to first class on the flight. For once, I wasn't budgeting for someone else's needs, I was investing in my own peace. Once the confirmation emails came through, I let out a long breath I hadn't realized I was holding. Then I opened Instagram and posted a simple story, a photo of my flight confirmation with the caption, "Uninvited but not unwanted. Island vibes greater than family drama." I wasn't expecting a big reaction, but within minutes, it started. Cousin Tarara replied with a laughing emoji, "Okay, Queen, go off." My friend Mason messaged, "Wait, what? They really didn't invite you? That's messed up. You deserve better." But the one comment that sent me reeling came from Ava. Yes, Ava. She replied to my story with, "Glad you found something to do. We didn't want drama anyway." I froze. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. She wasn't just tolerating my absence, she was relishing it, celebrating it, and my own family was letting her. I didn't reply. I didn't block her, either. I simply turned off my notifications, poured another glass of wine, and smiled because, in that moment, I knew I was doing the right thing. The next morning, I packed my bags with a kind of quiet defiance I hadn't felt in years. Every swimsuit, every sundress I folded into my suitcase felt like an act of rebellion, a declaration of self-worth. The airport was buzzing with noise, but I floated through it, earbuds in, playlist on, sunglasses hiding my exhausted eyes. I boarded my flight early and settled into my seat, leather, wide, plush, grateful for the small luxury. As the plane took off, I stared out the window and watched the city fade beneath the clouds. I wasn't running away, I was choosing myself. Somewhere over the Pacific, I ordered champagne and snapped a quick photo of my extended legs, drink in hand, captioned, "Cheers to being cut off and flying first class. Palm tree greater than airplane." I hit post and leaned back, feeling something I hadn't felt in a long, long time, peace. By the time I landed, my DMs were flooded. Tarara again. Okay, I'm officially jealous. An old high school friend, you look so unbothered, teach me your ways. Even Mason chimed back in, you seriously win. Let them have their party, you're having a life. I checked the message requests just out of curiosity, and sure enough, there she was again, my mom. Where are you? Are you really skipping your brother's graduation over this? No, because of this, I thought. I didn't respond. Outside the airport, a private car waited for me, complete with cold bottled water and fresh orchids on the seat. The air smelled like sea breeze and plumeria. It was like the world itself was affirming my decision. When I arrived at the resort,